Well, hello. Welcome back to another exciting edition of Coffee with Stephen. This particular blog entry this week has to do with the shelving of SB 497. Now, this is a little bit of a victory that we received in the gun rights community over the last week. SB 497, which had been introduced by a Democrat from La Cañada Flintridge, Senator Portofino, pardon me, I had essentially been crafted to limit a law-abiding citizen to only acquire one firearm every 30 days. Now, for many of you, you've attempted to buy multiple firearms within a specific set of time frame and have sort of always operated on the assumption that you could only get one firearm every 30 days. That's actually not true. You're limited currently under state law to the purchase of one new handgun every 30 days. But there's no limitations on the number of long guns that you can purchase. There's also other ways of acquiring handguns during that 30-day time frame. Let's say for the sake of argument, it's a private party transfer. There's no statutory limit on the number of handguns that can be transferred via private party transfer. So, for instance, if you were to have a neighbor or a friend that wanted to dispose of his collection of firearms, you wouldn't have to wait a year and a half to acquire each one of his subsequent handguns. You could do it all in one fell swoop. Well, this law, had it gone through, would have prohibited that from happening altogether. Now, there were some carve-outs that had already been established in it, so one of which had to do with fundraisers or things like that, where an individual might suddenly find themselves having won like 3 firearms at a raffle or something along those lines. So there were already beginnings of some carve-outs with that, but the underlying rationale behind the entire thing was crap to begin with. The fact of the matter is that Portofino was trying to ration freedom. That's really what it comes down to. There's absolutely no compelling state interest that would have limited or created the necessity to limit a law-abiding citizen's ability to acquire one firearm every 30 days. It just doesn't make any sense. And ultimately, I think that the people at the DOJ probably realized that the amount of money that they were going to have to spend litigating this law for no real benefit wasn't worth it. So anyways, it ultimately has gotten pulled. And the fact that there was an underlying philosophy that thought that this was a particularly good idea caused me to write this particular blog. It's a parody. I counsel you guys at the very beginning of this. What I've written is a news story from an anti-gun perspective, and it is a parody, okay? Not everybody is going to hear that, and I'm going to be getting a number of emails and phone calls saying, can you please give me your sources, because I can't believe this type of thinking actually exists out there. You can chuckle to yourself knowing full well that not everybody's getting it. Anyways, that all being said, enjoy the article. Remember, folks, train constantly, train consistently, train with purpose, and stay vigilant out there. Thank you, and I'll see you next week for another Coffee with Stephen.